heart attack. Fast fatal heart impact. Past painful scars. In fact, I blast tasteful bars and pass. I back up my actions. Fact, don't ask. Grab reactions. Jacked attack with every word. Then act with class as they hear me snap. I got nothing to lose, cause I fought and felt the bruise. Now I'm not the one confused. Call the shots and they produce. I ain't lost, I'm finally loose. Pick a new submerged juice. I need the views to boost me to a new abuse of being used. Everybody wants a piece now. Y'all can rest in peace now. You're dead to me, so peace out. Remember you're discreet now. Get ready for defeat now.
Alrighty. Hello everybody. This is Minishot here, and now, before we do begin, I do want to say a few things about this particular mini-shot. Now, Darkened Skies is a custom story that is also an Apocalypse AU. Now, a lot more things are going to be happening in this mini-shot, and a lot more things will also happen in the story, if it does become an eventual series. Now, here's a brief little idea as to how things work for anyone who is curious. The sunlight no longer works the same way as it does for a normal world. The sky turns mostly dark, and somewhere around 95 to 98% of sunlight no longer comes through the Earth's surface or atmosphere. Now, basically, only 2% of the world's sunlight actually hits the atmosphere, and there are times during the day where it is safe to move, and times where it is not. A flashlight is the best thing you can have for the situation, since the monsters that exist in the dark, they are afraid of sunlight, and it basically works like a gun. Now, with that being said, we will actually start with Izuku. Izuku, he's currently walking through the street, and right now, he does look up towards the lantern. The lantern above his head is his lifeline. If he does misstep or slip, and it falls and breaks, then he will die. He can hear the monsters behind him. He can hear the monsters to his left and to his right. Deku walking past an old burned out car. As he does turn his head and see the monster, it's standing there, on the very edge of the light. And he does watch as it does get trying to take a step forwards, and its claws are burned by the rays. It's jumping backwards and making a sound. And Deku, he does get to stop. Him directly going to turn to look at the monster. As right now, he is somewhat surprised and confused. The world really did end. Many people thought the world would end with a bang. Or maybe it would end with a war. Maybe a disease, but monsters? Yeah. Those are some of the lowest things on the list whenever he thought about an apocalypse. He's actually a bit more impressed. I mean, the monsters came from the sky. And at night, in the best way of saying it, they come from the darkness. Now, Deku, he actually is going to walk up to a store. And whenever he does so, he does look around. Some of the lights here are on. Now, whenever Deku is going to open the door, you do actually have where somebody is going to jerky turn and point a flashlight in his direction. Them flicking it on, as Deku is going to bring his hands up. Him doing so and blocking his eyes. The person turning it off, as Deku does then go to hear something being cocked. Him turning his head and seeing a man holding up a weapon. Exactly what are you doing here, boy? Hey, I'm just passing by. Really now? Well, that's something else, ain't it? I'm just trying to get through. That's all I'm trying to do. Really now? You got a lantern. Surprised to see one of those old things. Yeah. It was my neighbor's. Really? And what about some of that stuff you got there? You got a bow, you got a flashlight, and you got some good running shoes. Along with it, your bag looks a little heavy. I'd say you've been around. I have. Now, can I reach down to grab something? If it's a weapon, you won't reach it before a bullet whisks right through you, boy. And I'd rather not shoot you dead. That lantern of yours, it's gas, ain't it? It is. It's not electric. Batteries are a lot more precious. The gas, though. Not many people have these old style lanterns. I see. What are you reaching for? A map. Alright. Alright. But do be aware. I do have a trigger finger on me, boy. Alright? Alright. Deku reaching his hand out slowly. Before going to pull it out. And going to set it down. And the man has watched Deku. Him bringing his hands up and turning off the lights. Before going to Doki grab onto the pole it's on, I'm going to pull it off. Disconnecting it, I'm going to set it down carefully. Looking towards the man. Okay. Can I ask some questions? If you're looking to trade, I don't got much to offer. Generator out back is keeping this place running. Besides, the pumps, they basically helped me sustain this place for a while. Been here for months. Okay, I assume that. I found a few places like that. Enough fuel and power to run for a while. Enough food, water, and if you don't mind sleeping on the floor in a tent, then you're fine. You've been around. Sort of had to be. When the radios were still up, I heard about a place. Have you heard about it? You got to be more specific, boy. A lot of people are trying to claim places were safe. Safe from the dark. And there's things out there. Yeah. That's what I'm trying to ask about. I was at a place like that once. But not enough power. Not enough light. Yeah. Listen. There's rumors of one up by the ocean. Even a place where the sun does still reach. I'm just trying to find it. It's got to be here in Japan. Really, boy? You really believe those rumors? I gotta believe something. Lights don't work in the cities no more, and they're dangerous as hell. Along with that, you can barely step outside once a week in the sunlight. I mean, if you're lucky and you're underneath the sun, you'll be okay. But if you step into a shadow, you're immediately dragged away. Right. You know a lot about that, don't you? Traveling by yourself? I've been by myself for a minute. And exactly how did you end up that way? I'd rather not talk about it. Listen. Some people I know, they talked about a place. A friend of mine. He was smart. And he talked about a place that the sun should still reach. It's high enough above the clouds. Above those things. And it's safe. It would have plenty of power. Plenty of resources. It's big enough. I gotta find it. You believe a place like that exists? I have to. Otherwise, I'm just wandering around in the dark waiting for the lights to go out. I see. Well, boy, take my advice. Not much left. Not much to go around. And right now, it's all bad. Listen, tomorrow should be the sunlight day, right? I think so, sir. Good. Generator will power this place up till morning. I can shut it off and give it some time to rest and give some maintenance to it then. Listen, boy. If you want to stay here, you can tonight. With the light out tomorrow, you can get out of here. Early in the morning. All I'm asking is to talk. It's been a while since I've seen another person. Not many have figured out the rules like us. Not many were smart enough, nor were they brave enough to actually step outside. I mean, the rules are simple. If you can cast a shadow, it's bright. If you can't, then you're dead. Not the way I would have phrased it, but well enough. I know. Listen, I get it. Besides, I mean, staying the night here, that actually was something I wanted to do. I've been wandering the last few hours. I'm almost in a gas too. I saw the lights nearby, and I thought there was something here. Maybe I could have started a fire, but staying here tonight is an option. Look, I gave it to you. I know. Thanks. Deku bring down his hand, and going to pull something out of his jacket. The man, seeing Deku, pull out a small flask. As Deku is going to toss it over to him. Huh. Well, I'll be. It's been a while since I've seen some of this stuff. Yeah. Consider it to be payment. Now, the man and Deku are going to sit down. And right now, Deku, he does speak to the man. It seems odd. I mean, the world changed overnight one day. And the world, they were totally unprepared for it. The military tried to fight. But the moment they mobilized, they were attacked. I mean, they didn't figure out the rules until bases and personnel. They were almost completely stripped away. And by the time the order was given that nobody should try and step out into the darkness, many people were already killed. I mean, there were missing persons reports on the first night. The second, there were reports of monsters. And the third, people thought it was still safe. I mean, the sun didn't fully disappear for 2 weeks. But then, ever since it happened, there's barely been enough light to stay alive. Nothing can grow. And the resources, they've been severely limited. Now, Deku, he does lay there. Up until the man started to ask Deku a few questions. And Deku, he does hear the man talk about a strange animal. Before he does get to fade into unconsciousness. And eventually he does get to wake up. Deku going to Drookie, get up, and walk outside. Him looking up at the lights, for walking over towards the edge of the lights. Him looking out to the monsters. And seeing a few of them standing out by the edge of the forest. And Deku does get Drookie bring out his hand. Him looking down. He does see a slight shadow. It should be safe. Hey, I'm going to step out. And the moment Deku does, he's going to close his eyes. Before nothing happens. I'm going to turn Drookie and go to walk back into the light source. Before he does go to walk back inside and see the man. He is laying down asleep. And Deku, he does go grab his stuff and pack up. I'm going to walk away. And right now Deku, he does keep his bow and arrow at his side. And on the ready. Deku, there's so many strange monsters here. So many strange things that have either been created or just made. I mean, people have talked about what they think this might be. An illness, a quirk, some sort of creation. But there's something that doesn't add up. If this is a quirk, one of the creatures here in particular, they wouldn't be the way they are. That'd be what I could just think. As right now, he does gonna walk past a burned out car. And he does gonna somewhat bend down and see it. Right now, there it is. Him looking directly at it. It's standing there. It almost looks like a deer. But its body, it isn't made out of darkness. It's the exact opposite. It's radiating light and creatures are scared of it. Dekui's heard about these things. Their fur glows. And there are theories about them. The first time he ever saw one, he thought he was dreaming, but he wasn't. And right now, Deku's going to bring up the bow. Him going to pull back the string and get ready. He's heard about these things. And he's heard a few rumors. People on the radio talked about them. They said that their bodies, they continue to glow after death. And if that's true, their fur should radiate light. And that means you can walk in the dark. Now, Deku, he does pull back the string. As everyone is going to hear a cracking to his right, he's going to turn his head. Him going to let go of the bow a bit too early. As he's going to turn and look to get somebody. Them rushing towards Deku, as Deku is going to use his left arm, and Doki smash them across the face. Them dropping the knife in their hand, as the creature, it does get Doki shot into the side. It's letting out a sound that Deku and the person, they both can't fully hear. As whenever it does, the sound is high-pitched, and the screeching of it doesn't sound like something from this dimension. Now, the person on the ground, they do try to get back up. As while Deku, he is grabbing away at his ears, he does still have the bow in his hand. The person going to try and grab towards Deku and throw him against the vehicle. If they can shove him inside, then he'll be in the dark. The things will get him. They'll see him as prey. Now, Deku, after being thrown backwards into the car, he does smash onto it. Him screaming out as a piece of metal is jamming its way directly into his back. And Deku is going to bring up his right hand, smashing his right hand across their face, before, with his left leg, smashing the openers into the gut. And the person, they do go somewhat back away, as they do actually try and turn and look for their knife. Deku quickly going to grab away towards his arrows and grab one, pulling it backwards and pulling it back. As Arvada is going to draw it, the person is going to bend out for the knife and turn, looking directly at him. And Deku, he does send the arrow flying directly into their gut. It smashing into their body as they look downwards and back away. And Deku is going to step forwards. Him doing so, and Deku going to smash the person across the face and throw them backwards into a car. Now, the person, their eyes full of fear, as they're thrown into the dark. And the person, they are shouting and cursing. As right now the little creatures hiding inside, they do begin their work. Them tearing flesh from the person. As Deku hears the screams quickly fade after a few seconds, before turning back and looking towards the creature. Where it once stood, there's a trail of glowing blood. And Deku, he does see that. Him going to pull another arrow as this quickly starts to run over. Him trying to find it. Now, Deku, he does follow the trail. Okay, where is it? Where is it? Deku going to look up, as there's a patch of darkness in front of him. And he does going to look up again. The clouds are starting to get thicker. But that doesn't make sense. There should be a full... No. Deku going to turn and throw down his bag, reaching down towards his lantern, trying to light it. Come on. I still got an hour of gas. I got an hour of gas. It should work. Come on. Flashlight. Where is it? Deku going to reach. It's not there. Deku, he's panicking. Right now the gas is going to light. And Deku does watch the flame. As he does, Deku turn, grab the lantern, and throw it out in front of him. Hearing the screeching behind him. The creature directly trying to leap down and onto Deku. As Deku, he holds up the light as if it is a shotgun. And the creature, it is just going to throw itself down onto Deku before touching the glass of the lantern. It's screaming out in pain as it flushes start to light on fire, before it does go to quickly turn and try and slash Deku, before going to run off. Now, Deku, he does get cut across the face. And right now after that cut does happen, Deku, he does get to throw the lantern towards the ground. Him, somewhat putting it down a bit heavily, as he's going to grab towards his face, feeling for the wound. Now, Deku does look at his hand for a minute. It's covered in blood. Seeing the light flicker off of it. Him looking back. And being scared. Why is it doing that? No, he has gas. He has gas. He knows he does. His flashlight. Shit. This thing might not last, but the blood. The blood glows. That thing glows. It's not fading away. Deku grabbing the lantern and quickly running over to the blood. Him bending down to touch it with his left hand. And whenever he does so, his fingers feel strange. However, he does gotta bring it upwards and see. It stays lit. Deku gonna directly pull it upwards and across his right arm, as he does try to follow the trail. Right now, his arm does somewhat glow, but it's not enough. Deku quickly running, and right now there is in the darkness. A few creatures do see the faint glow Deku does give off, and right now they are curious to attack the parts that aren't glowing. His face, his other arm, and his legs. Now, Deku, he does try to stay low, and right now he's trying to stay towards this glow. He's practically running after it on all fours. And right now they're actually remember Deku does gotta turn and see the body. The thing smashed into a small ditch. And right now Deku is gonna run over to it and quickly smash onto it. As he does gotta quickly turn and look at a creature. The thing is massive. And it has two more behind it. And Deku, he does gotta quickly turn. Him grabbing onto the creature and staring at the beast. He won't be pulled away. He can't be pulled away. These things, they've already taken a lot from him. He isn't going to be dragged into the dark. He's heard way too much about the dark. Now, Deku does clutch onto this being, this thing he shot. Right now it's his only lifeline. If this body starts to, well, stop glowing, if it fades, then he might die. I mean, he doesn't know whenever the sun might start working again. And if it doesn't work again today or tomorrow, then he might be stuck here for 3-4 days, maybe 5 at best, at worst 7 again. And right now Deku is just going to sit there. He has a lot going through his mind. He has an idea. And right now, he is going to try and reach down. Him looking for it. He dropped his bag when he ran. But he knows he should still have it on his waist. Here it is. Deku will bring up his knife. And right now, he does think. This thing's body glows. The fur glows. And he does have an idea. If he can get the fur, if he can take what he can, then he should be safe. He should be able to walk. These things will be afraid of him. They'll be afraid of the light. Now, with that being said, Deku is going to turn and get ready. As right now, he does need to take apart this thing. Now, with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed the Minishot and understand a bit more about the series. And have an amazing night. I'll catch you guys in the next one.